Hello there, you well-groomed and attractive listeners. My name is Aaron.
And I'm Jared.
I'm Nave.
And this is Super Pod Saga. For any of you first-time listeners, this is the podcast where normally Tommy and I talk about every video game topic there is in existence. And usually we'll take turns choosing a topic each episode and then just talk about that topic until we've used the word of that topic so much that we just forget what it even means to begin with, and then we'll just pick a new one and start all over.
I'm starting to believe Tommy doesn't exist.
I know he's
a real person.
He's just an AI that I invented.
Has anyone ever seen Aaron and Tommy in the same room together?
I have, but I think it was a fake.
Yeah, you might be a paid actor. I don't even know.
I'm sure there's probably some, there's a yearbook photo of us in our Twitter banner. Well, no, I guess that could have been photoshopped. I don't have any proof. God damn it. Unfortunately, Tommy couldn't be here with us today. He got caught in an avalanche and was frozen alive. But he's currently de-thawing at room temperature, so he'll be back to normal in about 6 days. Don't you people worry. Yeah, as you heard in the intro, I'm not alone today. I'm unafraid and I'm ready to go. Well, we have two awesome guests for you guys today. Who wants to go first and introduce themselves?
Nave from Gaming Together. Me and my co-op partner Phil, we play cooperative games, multiplayer generally actually, and then talk shit about them. That's it.
Hell yeah. Where can people find you if they want to track you on social media and your podcast?
And on Instagram, we're Gaming Together. We have a Facebook that Philip runs. I generally run the Twitter and everything. And our podcast is on all the major platforms that you can find podcasts.
What about you, Jared? What are you on anything?
Absolutely not. I'm not a social media guy. I'm just kind of here to be fun and stupid.
Hell yeah, we appreciate that. Thanks for being fun and stupid here with us.
No problem.
For those that don't know, yeah, Super Pod Saga, we're also mainly on Twitter. We're on Facebook and Instagram sometimes, but sometimes I forget those exist. I also forget about TikTok and Tumblr a lot. Yeah, please follow us on Twitter, because otherwise I'll forget all about everything else. Just like Gaming Together, we're also on all the major podcast platforms. Just look for Super Pod Saga or superpodsaga.com, and you'll find all of our stuff. And that's us, as well as our Patreon too. Give us money to help the show. What are we talking about today, guys? What's the topic today?
Sounds like remasters or remakes, but we like to be able to play them on new consoles.
My list is just games I just want achievements for. I just want to get achievements.
Games that we want remastered. Not necessarily remade or rebooted, because some of these games on my list, I don't want them to redo because they're already good, and I don't want them to, I guess, fuck them up like they have a bunch of other ones. Whatever, we'll circle jerk back to that. Who wants to go first with their first one, with the first game they want remastered?
I'll go ahead and go. I'll get the elephant out of the room. I know whenever people start talking about remasters and remakes, everyone has only one game on their mind. So let's just get this one out of the way. It's The Last of Us. I really want The Last of Us to be remastered once more. I didn't get enough of it. No, not really. I'm not going to waste my choice on that. I want to see Jade Empire remastered for people to go back and enjoy, or to experience for the first time, because this is a game I don't see a lot of people talk about, and especially with old school BioWare, with KOTOR and whatever the fuck else they did, I can't remember. But it's like Jade Empire was amazing for me, as a kid. It was everything I wanted, and it's as deep as you want it to be, or as simple as you need it to be. And I was a dumb little kid.
And that was all Chinese martial arts and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was with the Chinese gods and stuff like that. It's really, really interesting stuff. It's like a role-playing game where you become the chosen one, and you just get to live out your own kung fu movie, essentially, with magical powers and stuff. You can switch between stances, and you unlock stances as you get experience. And it has the binary BioWare good and evil slider, like in Mass Effect, and it changes how powerful you become. So it's if you want more power, you can become more evil. It's awesome stuff.
That does sound fucking awesome. I've known about that game for a long time, but I haven't played it. I can't think of any other games that are like that, honestly. Like a BioWare martial arts game. It sounds like like Kung Pao Enter the Fist, but RPG wise. Do you get gopher trucks in that game?
No, it's mostly. Well, I was gonna say it's
Damn.
mostly hand-to-hand combat, but you do get weapons and stuff. But I don't know. It is backwards compatible. If anyone wants to play it, it is backwards compatible on the Xbox family of systems, and I think it's like $10, and it goes on sale every now and then. And so that's where I've been playing it, along with KOTOR, all of that stuff. That was whenever you came up to me with this remaster topic, I was like, oh, this will be fucking super easy to do. And so I've been playing Rock Band for like 5 hours. Up until 5 minutes before we started recording, and I was like, okay, I've got 5 minutes to spare. Let's throw a list together. And I realized that all of the games that I could think of have already either been remastered or are backwards compatible on the Xbox. So I can play them right now. So it's kind of become a strange list of mine over here.
I had to go through mine quite a few times too, because there were a couple I put on there that after a little while I realized, oh well, that's on like the virtual console, or like that was on some other form of virtual console on some other system, and somehow I was able to get about 7 put down. But Jared, my guy, what do you have on your list? What's the first one?
The first one, I feel like it's probably a little controversial, but not at the same time. I want Golden Sun remade. All of them.
Yeah.
Was that the one with like the light sensor on the cartridge, or am I thinking of a different game? The Game Boy game?
It's like Botkai or Boktai, Enter the Sun, or like something of the Sun.
Okay,
That's a
I
different
think
one.
I know Golden Sun though. It was just a JRPG on the Game Boy Advance, right?
Yeah. And it was amazing story. It was actually really well done. And it actually had a continuation between the first and the second, which really wasn't too common. And actually, there was a way to transfer stuff from the first one to the second one, which was also not very common. But nothing's been done with it for like 7 years. Love to see some more. I loved all JRPGs when I was younger, but that was just one that I could just get immersed in and spend hours every day playing. I killed the batteries like 3 times in a couple of days.
How do you transfer stuff between? Is it like the quick swap, like the N64 Banjo-Kazooie thing?
There was 2 ways of doing it that I can remember. I don't know if there was a third or not, but one was depending on how much you wanted, because they gave you like a bronze, silver, gold. If you wanted all of it, it was like it was a massive code that you had to type in. That was probably like 20 some odd pages of probably like I don't know, maybe 80 characters per page. So the only way to do that was to write it all down or transfer it with like a transfer cable. But being a poor kid, I only had one device, so I couldn't just transfer with that. Plus, I didn't have anybody else that had a transfer cable. So you'd spend forever to try to write all that shit down. And if you mess it up once, you have to go through it all. It took forever. I gave up.
That game rocked ass because the fucking the djinns were really, really cool. It basically had like a little Pokemon element where like, so the djinns, or djinns, I'm not really sure how you say it. They were like these little creatures that you find in the overworld. And what is it? When you find one, you have to battle them, and then if you beat them, they join your party. And the djinns basically dictate what class your characters are, and the class dictates like what spells you can use and alter your stats and stuff like that. But then the djinns also,
it's an immediate change too. You can constantly change on the fly.
Yeah. And when you use them in battle, they also have different cool effects. Like some will just buff your party members, other ones will just be like one strong blow to an enemy, or like there's a lot of really cool ones. But I really like that about the game. Just being like, oh, I'm missing a djinn, there's got to be one around here somewhere. I wonder where it is. And usually they're not dicks about it, because it'll be like in plain sight, and you just got to find maybe like an alternate route to get there. Rather than like the second game where there's like 10 bajillion and you kind of have to really like deep dive some places. But those games were fucking awesome though. I loved those. When you said there was one we might both have, I fucking knew it'd be Golden Sun.
I figured you knew as soon as I said GBA. Yeah, it was crazy because the djinns didn't make or break the game either. You didn't have to have them, but you wanted them to make the game easier. So it was kind of a cool element too.
I'm looking at screenshots of this, and I definitely played this game before. I specifically remember this battle screen, but I've memory hold myself. Like I don't remember anything about this, what the story was or anything. I think I probably was just grinding to grind.
Probably it was a really long game. There was a lot of grinding. Plus, it was a quote unquote open world RPG with almost no direction. So you probably backtracked a crap ton of times, not remembering where to go. I recently started playing it again, and I quit playing for like 3 months, and I had to restart because I literally have no idea other than just starting up and looking at the guide or something.
Speaking of games that I just recognized from screenshots, I was kind of Googling around. I was like, underrated games. You know what I mean? Just fucking looking for anything that might just spur my memory. And there's this one game called Radiata Stories on the PlayStation 2. And I remember this game, but I don't know anything about it, so I didn't put it on my list. But I see all of these screenshots and locations and characters and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I definitely remember all of this. Maybe I'm just stupid, and I don't have enough bandwidth to keep like actual storylines in my head, but I can recount the entirety of my Mortal Kombat lore, but not remember what the fuck Radiata Stories is about.
I'm kind of the same way.
I was gonna say maybe it just wasn't that good.
Maybe. The characters are adorable. Like you got this like knight that's like really short. It's fucking awesome. It's good stuff. But I just don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, the first one I had jotted down is also a PlayStation 2 game, and that's the Shadow Hearts series. I've played a little bit of the first game. I've never beaten it, and I've never played the second game. But basically, it's just like kind of like another turn-based RPG, except it's got a lot of like Lovecraftian horror shit to it, where it's like, oh, I don't even know how to explain it, like interdimensional beings like taking over people's bodies, and like, oh, I don't know how to explain it very well, but there's a lot of really goofy characters to it, and just the intro scene to the first game is just the goofiest fucking shit I've ever seen on the PlayStation 2 game. And like, you start off on this train, and then there's this evil old guy with a big old top hat, and he's chasing this lady through a train, and then this awesome guy like jumps through the roof of a train and fucking chases after him. It's the craziest, awesomest shit ever. And yeah, if they brought those to modern consoles, I would absolutely play those, because the only way to get them now is to pay upwards of fucking 80 or $100 to get them on the PlayStation 2, and I don't want to fucking do that, dude. I just want to play those games for like maybe 15, $20. I mean, if they did both in one package, I'd pay $30, but
and I'm like, I'm looking at it and like, what in the fuck is going on? And I came across the Shadow Hearts Covenant box art, and I remember seeing this box art at GameStop. Like that, because I remember it's a redheaded, really well endowed woman, and I'm like, oh, I'm a young boy, I really like this. And then my aunt, who I was staying with at that time, was like, nah. No, not this one. Go pick a different game. I got like Blinks the Time Sweeper or some shit. I don't fucking know.
That's a good aunt.
Oh man, she really screwed you out of that, because I've heard that. Again, I've never beaten it, but I've heard stuff. But I've heard that I think it's the second Shadow Hearts that has like some really goofy characters that can join your party. Like there's this puppet master guy. I think his name is Geppetto, and instead of him fighting himself, he sends out like a puppet to attack for him. I think I haven't. Again, I haven't played myself, but it sounds awesome, and I'd love to play it, but I don't want to fucking break my bank to just get a copy of the game. It's bullshit. Bullshit. What do you got next, Nave?
Oh, the next one on my list, let's go with Mega Man Legends, or Mega Man 64.
Oh, that was one I considered putting on. I just didn't want to put a bunch of PS1 games. That's a good one.
Yeah, Mega Man Legends, I played it on the 64, so I always knew it as Mega Man 64, but I always hated Mega Man. And I still, to this day, don't like Mega Man. But Mega Man Legends was something that my dad bought for me, and it actually kind of, because it's a third-person shooter, essentially, where you can go around and talk to characters like Roll and in the serve bots and stuff, and everyone has personalities. And I'm like, as a kid, that's kind of something that I was drawn to, more than just the 2D action platformer that most Mega Man games were. I kind of just liked walking around the town, and I never did anything. I don't even think I got past like the first real dungeon area, but I would just walk around the town and talk to people over and over again and visit the stores and stuff. And I would love to revisit that as an adult and get achievements.
Yeah, and for them to finally finish the third game, because Mega Man's been stuck on the moon since the second game. God damn it, he's still there. Our boy is still on the moon. That one, I don't think they've ever even touched the Mega Man Legends games, which is a goddamn shame.
That'll be eventually.
Are they not on?
No, they don't have a collection. I had to look it up, but all the other games have collections at this point. Even the Metal Man Battle Network, which skipped Xbox, so go fuck yourself, Capcom. Yeah, I think eventually they're going to have to get around to Mega Man Legends and acknowledge its existence. And I wonder if whenever they do make a collection of that, there's potential for getting a third one if the reception is good. Because I would much rather play a Legends game. It's kind of like Sonic. I fucking hate Sonic, but I like Sonic Adventure. I'll play those.
I'm the exact same way. I suck so badly at the 2D Sonic games. Like, they make it about speed, but if you go too fast, you just fall off the level or you hit
Yeah,
spikes. Or if you're in the chemical zone, you get stuck in that blue water bullshit and can't get
I
back
mean,
up. I fucking
I
I hate
fucking
that
remember the
shit.
first time when I got a Sega Genesis. I played Sonic and I was like, this is pretty interesting. And then I ran into a fucking spike wall, and I was like, I don't like this anymore. Like, why can't I just keep running? Like, why is it always got to stop? Why is there always an enemy I gotta dodge at fucking 2 frames of reaction time? I'm a child. I'm gonna go play outside.
I think that's where my gamer game started, was the Sega Genesis and Sonic. That game gave me so much anger.
It's ridiculous. And then you compare it to Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 were my two favorite Sonic. Well, Sonic Generations was pretty good too, but Sonic Adventure was really fucking awesome because you could explore that dumb open world and you could do the homing attack on like 14 enemies in a row and lots of loop-de-loops, dude. Those were so good. Speaking of loop-de-loops, what's your next one, Jared?
So hear me out before I finish. This one actually has already been remastered, but I want an actual good remaster of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. After that poor excuse that they pushed out a couple of months ago or last year or whatever it was, I don't know. It was just unexcusable. The game was nigh impossible to play. So I want something done or them to fix it, or somebody else actually who cares about the game to remaster them or remake them so that they're, one, true to the old stories, but two, they're actually playable on current consoles.
I think they were remastered. Besides that one, I think they were remastered on PlayStation 4. Because I remember playing the third one on PlayStation 4 before all of this stuff, and I don't know, but I was playing the shit out of Grand Theft Auto 3, so that was probably my mistake. I think San Andreas is definitely playable now. I play that on Steam, but it's like Grand Theft Auto 3 is like not good. I played it for like a while, and I was like, I don't understand how I mean, I do understand how I played it as a kid, but now that San Andreas is here, it's like I think that San Andreas is Grand Theft Auto 3, and when I go to 3, it's like definitely baby's first 3D game.
Yeah, I played that way too much when I was younger, that I was able to actually play by myself. And I just had so much fun with it because, being 8 years old or whatever I was, playing, going around just blowing cops up, shooting people, punching hookers, typical stuff that children that age should be playing. It was just nostalgia.
I really, really want remastered as far as Rockstar is Grand Theft Auto 4, because I think Grand Theft Auto 4 is phenomenal, and it was one of those games where it got like 10 out of 10s across the board, so this is in no way underrated, but it was really praised, and whenever I played it, I was like, this sucks. Like, this isn't Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and like I just started playing the multiplayer, which was just pure chaos. And that's all I really had experience for in Grand Theft Auto 4. And whenever I went back and played it, because this is another backwards compatible game on the Xbox, I couldn't believe how fucking funny Grand Theft Auto 4 was. And I completely understand why, as a high schooler, I didn't get it. Because this is so much more mature than Grand Theft Auto Vice City was. Well, Grand Theft Auto Vice City was mature, but there were so many subtle, goofy jokes all littered throughout Grand Theft Auto 4. And especially whenever you get to the Ballad of Gay Tony, which is amazing. It's such a good DLC. I would love for more people to, especially with the Grand Theft Auto 5 hype, I would love to see people experience Grand Theft Auto 4 with, like, fresh eyes, Maybe a little bit of updated driving mechanics, because while I love that game, everyone's right. The driving kind of sucks in that game, and the game is called Grand Theft Auto.
It's always been kind of off in those games too, though. I don't remember Grand Theft Auto 5. I played the story, I beat it, but that was so long ago. I don't remember how good it was, but I always recall that the driving was really off and stupid. Didn't make sense half the time.
Real floaty.
I don't remember much about 4. I don't know if I beat it or not.
But getting drunk, you should definitely go and replay 4, because the ending is great. I loved getting drunk and driving in that game, because it makes the car mechanics so much worse, but in such a funnier way. And that was another game where you can slam into something at high speed and fly through the windshield. I love that shit. I love that shit.
Fuck yeah. I think, is it Jared? Yeah, it's Jared's turn, right?
I just went.
No, I just hijacked. My fault.
Oh, dude, I've got another almost open world one. Kirby Air Ride. This one hasn't been touched since the fucking lame cube. Those sons of bitches. Yeah, Kirby Air Ride would be fucking great because, like any other Kirby game, there's just like a bajillion fucking game modes for it. Like, there's your usual, you just race, but then there's a lot of a customization to it because there's just a shit ton of different stars that you can ride on. Like, there's just a normal warp star that's like balanced, but then there's like the Formula Star, which has low acceleration and low handling, but it has really, really high top speed. Or there's like the Shadow Star, where it's got low everything, but it glides for like it can glide for like a lot longer time. And then there's just a bunch of weird, goofy ones. But yeah, there's your usual like flat out race mode. There's a mode, I forget what it's called, but it has to do with the city. And basically what you do in the city is you and all the other people are playing, you go around the city, you break shit, and you collect power-ups to increase like your top speed, acceleration, and handling and shit like that. And then after the time runs out, you'll all go and race. And so yeah, like as long as you had lots of power-ups, you'll do just fine in the race. And there was also a bunch of other stuff you could do in the city as well too. Like there were parts for these legendary stars, like one was called Dragoon and one was called Hydra, and if you collect all the pieces, you could use those in your race. And that was another thing too. Okay, so yeah, in the city also, yeah, if you start off with your regular ass warp star, but then you can find other stars littered throughout the city. So whatever star you ended the city thing with, that's what you used in the race. And that was super cool because like sometimes you'll find one you really like. Like I fucking hate the slippery star. I don't know how anybody uses the piece of shit slippery star, but sometimes I'd only find that and I'd have to use that, and that sucked ass. But and then there was just a bunch of crazy shit that happened. Like meteors would sometimes come out of the sky and just fucking decimate everything, or the bird from the Kirby series, Dynablade, would like swoop in and it'd hit you and like steal some upgrades from you and really fuck you over. No, it'd be perfect if they would either bring that to the Switch on like a GameCube tier for the Switch Online stuff, or if they just remaster it straight up for Switch, like a big old Switch port. That'd be cool. I don't care what way they do it, but I want Kirby Air Ride back, you fuckers.
I'm such a fake Kirby fan. Like I love the aesthetics of Kirby, but I think my favorite Kirby game is Smash Brothers. If that says anything.
That's a good Kirby game. I only played one Kirby game, and that was on like the actual Game Boy.
The original? I think that's oh man. I was on main quest for it. I can't remember what it's called. But I didn't even play it. I watched my friend play it. And I was on an episode for it. I mean, so the only one that I've played is the one on the N64. And there's another game that I always got it confused with, but I can't there's no way I'm ever gonna remember. But it had these scary looking blocks, and I thought and those games were the same in my brain. Is that scary looking block game and Kirby. There's a fucking couple of things that are like that. Like I don't know if you guys do that, but
I
it's
bet
like
you would.
they're like I used to think that the Mario movie, the original one, and The Fifth Element were the same movie.
I can fucking see that. They're all
You know?
everybody in the Mario.
It's not completely
Everybody in the Mario movie. That's. I can see that, dude. You fucking. Who? I could see Chris Tucker in the Mario movie like that. That makes sense. Dude, I bet you would fucking love Kirby Air Ride though. Oh my god, it's one of the best racing games. So hey, game reviewers, fuck you.
I mean, it looks pretty hype.
Oh, the wagon! I forgot about the wagon star. It was just a fucking block that you ride on, and like your charged power slide with it. You had to stop and then turn and then go. Oh man, what a fucking crazy game! That's another one that's now like $120 just to get. Which one of you fellas wants to go next?
Who was that? That was yours. So I guess I'll go again. Let's do Chrono Trigger. We talked about JRPGs and stuff. I've never played Chrono Trigger, and I own it on the DS. I think I don't have a DS anymore, but I remember when I was playing it. At that point, I had already had a 360 with achievements and stuff, and I was balls deep in that. And I was playing. I'm not really like that anymore, but where I won't play a game that doesn't have achievements. But back then I was. So I got about like 5 hours into Chrono Trigger and was like, I could be playing Guitar Hero right now and working on my expert career mode or whatever. So like I was really obsessed with that stuff. And I think that Chrono Trigger really does. I mean, they did it with Chrono Cross, right? They re-released that game, so Chrono Trigger just seems like a no-brainer. And with the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, skipping Xbox again, go fuck yourself, Square Enix. But with the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, it's like a slam dunk to get Chrono Trigger on modern hardware.
I don't see why they wouldn't. I think they brought it to the Virtual Console on the Wii U. But no, yeah, I don't see why they haven't. Like, it's on mobile phones. Why not bring it to fucking everything else? It's minus the stupid touchscreen controls. Yeah, they do need to bring that one back. What do you got next, Jared?
Parasite Eve from the PlayStation. That is a game I've always had fun going back to and replaying, and recently took to watching speedruns and trying to learn to actually speedrun it. But I played that game so much as a little kid. I don't know why it interested me, but it was like an interesting turn-based / action horror JRPG. I just love that game so much. Everything about it. The combat was cool. The modifying your weapons and humor was cool. The bosses were fun. Even as a 10-year-old kid, I had no issues.
There was a news story last year about there was a trademark that Square Enix made that everyone assumed was going to be a Parasite Eve 3 or a Parasite Eve remaster. I think it was debunked, though. I think it's a different thing.
I think what happened was the creator of Parasite Eve took the copyright back.
Oh, here it is. Square Enix copyrighted Symbiogenesis, and everyone started thinking that was going to be the spiritual successor to Parasite Eve. But it looks like that is for a different thing.
Damn.
So Square Enix, making Square Enix moves and disappointing everyone.
They really should remaster those because there's not anything else like those. And have they ever brought them to the PlayStation market or whatever the fuck it's called?
It was on the PlayStation Vita where there were PlayStation 1 games. PlayStation Classics or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And that's where I played it.
PlayStation TV and PlayStation 3 also had it on its marketplace. I don't know if 4 did.
Look on your PS5, Jared. Is it on there?
It's not. I took a look. I was pissed off because there's a bunch of games that I was like, I knew that they were on like the PlayStation TV, but they're not on the actual like PlayStation.
Yeah,
TV,
PlayStation TV was like the Vita little dongle you plug in, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like a weird little adapter, kind of like the Roku's and whatnot. Give you access to playing PlayStation shit.
Yeah, I definitely played at least a few hours of this game, but I don't recognize most of it actually.
I remember a little bit of the second one because Jared knows Devin. Devin and I, my dad would drop us off at a friend's house because he had to work, and we would play our friend's PlayStation. And there was this part in Parasite Eve 2. Are you pretty familiar with Parasite Eve 2, Jared?
I don't know much about it. I actually own it, and I know it's like a Resident Evil faithful quote unquote remake in a sense, or game, but I don't know much more than the fact that it's like another horror game that they changed the combat style of.
Okay, wait, yeah, there was. I remember there being a part where there were like mutant camels or like zombie camels or some shit, and they were the freakiest shit for our little 10-year-old brains or however the fuck old we were. Speaking of ugly as sin, the next game on my list is Power Stone 1 and or 2. Please remaster it because they haven't been remastered since the PSP, and I don't want to pay fucking $70 for that or play it on the PSP. I want to play it on a fucking console with a controller. Fuck. Have you guys ever heard of Power Stone 1 and or 2?
I've never heard of either of them.
That was like a GameCube fighting game, wasn't it?
It was a Dreamcast fighting game, baby.
Yeah, I remember I had the Dreamcast, and I think I almost purchased that, but I think I instead bought like Madden or something.
What the fuck? You really?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was the art style that turned me off, and especially because I'm not like a huge fighting game fan, but as I know, it's like a different kind of fighting game. But I really I put all my chips in the Mortal Kombat basket, and I was like, everything else is disgusting degeneracy. I don't want it. And then I played Tony Hawk, and that's it. That's all I did on the Dreamcast.
Dude, Power Stone is so sweet because like, not only are there just a bunch of goofy weird characters, like there's Jack, who's like this bandaged up like assassin contortionist guy, and then there's Gourmand, who's like a chef or whatever. But the levels, they would constantly drop like boxes with weapons, so you could have like a grenade launcher or like a samurai sword or just a bunch of other goofy shit like grenades and stuff. And you would just knock your enemies around and grab like gems, and basically you just fight your enemies until their health bar ran out and they died. But the stages were also super dynamic because there would be like different stages did different things. So there would be some where bombs would randomly be, launched onto the stage, or like pieces of the stage would fall off. Or there was one that was like on a plane in the air, and I think it was like the plane would crash and then you land in like some other area, something like that. But Power Stone 2 would just be fucking sweet on modern day consoles because for one, it already looks great. They wouldn't have to do a whole lot with the graphics. It looks awesome. The art style is great. And yeah, just fucking 4 controllers or just 4 fucking Joy-Cons or what. I don't know what the fuck they would need to do, but it'd be great. I really want to play these games on modern consoles with friends and not have to. These are ones that are, again, the PSP version is like $70. The Dreamcast versions, don't even fucking look at them because they're ridiculous. Those are ones that I would love to play, but I don't want to break my fucking bank. I don't want the wife to leave me.
I don't think she'd leave you. I think she'd probably just sell all your games to make the money back. And then you'd leave her for selling all your games.
I've been Google imaging like this whole time, but this one right here, I think it's probably just because from it being on my computer, but a lot of the top stuff from when I Google Power Stone and Google Images is Magic the Gathering cards, because the Power Stone is stuff in Magic the Gathering, and I think that's really funny because that's the first thing I thought of. It was definitely the art style. Young me is not playing this for sure.
Yeah, the first thing when I looked up just Power Stone, it brought up a bunch of Marvel stuff for me. I don't usually Google Marvel stuff, but I mean that's cool, I guess.
How often are you talking about Marvel into your wiretaps?
I'll be talking right like face to face to a potted plant. I'll be like, boy, do I love the Vision Stone in Marvel, the Infinity War.
You won't shut up about them.
And then everyone on the other side of your cell phone is like, yes, write that down. Send it to Amazon.com.
Yeah, they're trying to sell me little fucking stones and like charm bracelets with all sorts of Infinity Stones on it. We're at the halfway point. Do you guys want to take an ad break?
Sure.
All right, we're doing an ad break. We'll be right back. This episode is brought to you today by fleshlights or glue. Honestly, this episode is brought to you today by glue. That sticky white stuff that helps you stick things to other things. You could stick 2 cats together, or stick a fucking scorpion to 2 cats and make a chimera creature, little chimera creature walking around your house.
If glue is so sticky, then why doesn't it stick to the inside of the bottle?
Oh, shit.
It's just a pocket dimension to go with your pocket pussy.
My mom told me not to play with sticky white stuff.
There's just a fucking bag of infinite holding with just an infinite number of
That's called black glue.
Pocket pussies.
2 things you don't want to combine.
The glue. But let's give a big round of applause for Glue's thinner rolled up cousin, Tape. Tape, everybody. Tape's cool. You can. What if they didn't sell like they did now? They just like took one really, really long piece of tape and then crumpled it into a ball and sold it to you, and it was your job to like untangle a piece and then like snip it off when you wanted tape. That would be a big pain in the ass. That's Tape, everybody.
Do you want to start riots, Aaron? Because that's how you start riots.
I like when you get tape and then fold it kind of backwards and make a circle, and now it's sticky all around. And I'm something of a scientist myself when I would do that. Stick stuff onto the wall.
Oh, that is a great. Or you could use that to like get dust or like some shit off your desk or whatever else you're doing.
Dude, I don't know why. I'm just googling all kinds of shit now, and what is this?
Is it dust?
No, I just googled glue. I don't know why. I'm just googling for fun, I guess. But I found this is how you know these things are really listening to us. I found one of the top things is TPE glue, and it's for sex doll repair.
Oh, nice. They make it specifically
in case you're a little too rough with your sex dolls. It repairs the dolls. Fast bonding and waterproof. Quality assurance.
Fast bonding. That's right. Fellas, treat Marjorie with care. She's not going to last forever.
What are these? These look like stab wounds. What do people do with these dolls?
They're probably stabbing them, dude. That's probably the psychopath.
I mean, you got to get it out some way. Like, if you're gonna stab humanoids, you might as well stab fake ones.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Or what do you think we would do if they outlawed like glued and tape and like other adhesives? How would we stick shit to other shit? Like just syrup?
Hammer and nails.
Well, that's not sticking. That's nailing things to shit, Jared.
You will make things stick.
Use your fucking brain, Jared.
I will fucking nail your nutsack to the wall, and you let me know if it's stuck or not.
I mean, it's not really stuck.
I mean, it definitely worked with that one guy. Who's that famous guy that got stuck to some wood? I can't remember his name.
Holy shit! And we're back.
Thanks, Fleshlight.
Thank you, sex doll.
Thanks, Super Glue.
There we go. Speaking of hot glue and your dolls and everything together. No, yeah, it was me last. What's your next one, Nave? Next game you'd want remastered?
Let's go with Time Splitters. We haven't had a whole lot of funny games on this list, so we are going to talk about Time Splitters now. This is the Time Splitters hour. Have you guys played this fucking game? Because this shit is the good stuff.
I've played Time Splitters.
I never
2.
played it, but I've played people play it.
I've played 2 and Future Perfect. Future Perfect was the shit.
This game, both of them are on backwards compatible on Xbox, so go fucking get it now, everybody. Go get it. It's like $10. Come on, guys. This is the funniest shit. This is the funniest shit that came out of the 6th generation, I think it is. I absolutely love Time Splitters. There's this one part where, because it's obviously about time travel, right? It's a first-person shooter. Which, by the way, even being an old first-person shooter, it does hold up pretty well. It is noticeably old, but it is not terrible. It's not GoldenEye. So, whenever you walk into this like little room, you hear psst, and then you look up, and you're like, "Hey, you're me," and he's like, "I knew you'd say that."
Oh yeah.
Here, and he gives you a key, and you're like, "What is this?" And I'm like doing it word for word, by the way. He's like, "Don't worry about it. Just remember to pass it on when you're done." And he's just like, "What just happened?" And then like a little bit later in the level, you get to that grate, and you're like, "Hey, that's me. Wait a minute." And then it just plays the same cutscene again, except at the end this time, he's like, "Hey, that was cool." And then the whole time his like handler's yelling at him for fucking with time because he's not supposed to do that shit. But he's constantly just bumbling through this fucking campaign. God, it's so fucking funny.
Dude, oh my god, me and my younger brother used to play the multiplayer for Future Perfect all the fucking time. And there were
so good.
There were so many characters. There were all sorts of fucking. There were so many monkeys. There was a robot monkey. There was a cop monkey. There was a sheriff monkey. There were so many monkeys. There was a gingerbread man. There was a duck man. There was a skeleton sheriff.
This is it's kind of weird because this game technically has been remastered. In the game called Homefront: The Revolution, which is a fucking shitty, terrible game. But this entire game can be played. Like, if you fuck with, like, a code or whatever, I think you gotta put in a code, and there's a arcade machine that doesn't look like you can interact with it, but you can play it. But I want this game remastered the same way that they did with the Turok games. I mean, they remastered Turok 1, and that was fucking great, but when they remastered Turok 2, they went above and beyond. I can't remember what it's like Deep Blue, Deep Dive Studios or something like that, but they made the multiplayer online. And like they're doing with the Switch's Battle Network. And so you could play Turok 2 online, and it was so fun with the cerebral bore and all that shit.
Hell.
Oh my god. And so if you could just get Time Splitters multiplayer online, I would glue my pants.
You'd have to repair your sex doll with that fast-acting glue.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to hold back all the stabbing I do.
Stabbing aside, though, dude, it would be perfect if they did Future. Well, I guess like the whole series, but Future Perfect had an awesome there were so many different kinds of weapons from different time periods you could use, and like it'd be sweet if you could play online, and you could make map setups because you could pick like I want bricks here, and like I want the musket here, and like all the other goofy ass weapons you could have. Like that'd be tits, and all the other cool unlockable players too. They need to do that. They need to read. Hey, game developers, if you're listening, remaster this right now. That's easy money, I bet.
I'm thinking about the scene in the first one where you meet this like you're in a horror house with zombies and shit, and you meet this lady in a mini skirt, and like she's like just a hot lady, and you get to this door, and there's a bunch of groaning and screaming at like this trap door on the floor, and you look at each other, and she's like, "You go first." And then he looks down, and then it's like zoomed in on her skirt, and he looks at her and goes, "Okay." It's so funny. God, it's so dumb.
Was it his name like Sergeant Cortez or something like that?
Cortez, yeah.
There we go. That's right. Speaking of Cortez, Jared, that's your last name. Go ahead. It's really not.
Oh, really? So I'm not too positive on if this one's been done or worked on or what, but the original Metal Gear Solid is one I would love to have remastered. I know that they've remade and redone like Gears 2, 3, 4, all that stuff. And they've got like stuff on the newer consoles, but I haven't seen anything about the original one. And that was another game that I spent so many hours in as a little child playing that game.
It doesn't look like they have touched it. Well, they had a PC version in fucking 2000, but that's it. Oh wait,
Well, I think it came out in '97 or something like that, so that won't surprise me.
oh the Twin Snakes was a remake of the first game.
It was.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that was 2004, so that still doesn't count. Yeah. What the hell, man? Why haven't they done that?
I guess it was a remake for the GameCube or whatever. I guess I don't know how much difference was there, but
The GameCube got the Resident Evil remake too. The first one.
yeah, that was one that I actually had on my list, and I was like, oh wait, no, they're remaking fucking Resident Evil 4.
God, I'm so fucking ready.
Yeah, because that was one ever since they started remaking them, I was excited for. And I completely spaced it, and then I was looking into it. I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, they are remaking that. It's supposed to come out this year or some shit."
Is it
Pretty soon.
is
Like
it
in a
like a
few
full remake or like a remaster for Resident Evil 4? I mean,
I think it's a remaster, like
I think it's a
they've been
remake.
doing.
I think it's getting the Resident Evil 2 treatment. Not the Resident Evil 3 treatment. That was the fucking B team.
Yeah, March 24. And it says
Okay.
it's a remake.
Ooh, I'm ready to have Ashley wait, follow me all over again. Wait,
Oh my
follow me,
God,
wait,
no.
follow me, wait, follow me. Fuck, dude.
I think they might be adding content to it too.
Take Ashley out.
I'm so fucking like I have total and complete faith with whatever team is like handling Resident Evil. I don't think there's a single Resident Evil game I don't like. Like actually, I mean the main line. Operation Raccoon City can go die in a fire.
What was the other spin-off one for the PlayStation? It was
Outbreak? There's a couple.
Outbreak. Yeah. Outbreak was poop. I didn't care for that one.
And then you had the light gun games. I can't remember what those were called. There's like 2 or 3 of those. And then they released them for the PS3 and you could play with the controller, and that's how I played them. I'm like, this fucking
cool.
sucks. But then I play House of the Dead, and I'm like, this is great. Like, but it's the same because you have to move the stupid cursor with your. It's not the best, but
Yeah, the old school controls were always clunky though.
oh yeah, that's my
I wasn't
problem.
able to get those ones.
They made 2 and 3 for the 360 and PS3, and that's the biggest hurdle for me is I just cannot fucking play these games. Like my brain I have goopy gamer brain that I can't get the fucking control scheme down. And I remember Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater was like one that I really liked playing with a bunch of my friends. But of course we didn't understand that the control scheme either. I don't know what's going on with like Hideo Kojima and like making everything way more complex than normal, but it's like I don't know. I don't have the patience to try and fucking understand. It's like trying to get good at Surgeon Simulator because like you get good at Surgeon Simulator, but then what? Like where are you going to use these skills that you've developed now? You know what I mean? Where otherwise you could get you good at fucking Call of Duty 2 Big Red One, and then like all of a sudden you can play Halo also. You know what I mean?
Speaking of Kojima, I've been listening to Tommy talk about Death Stranding, and like he's talking about how like the acid rain, the time acid rain, you can like collect it in your fucking canteen, and it like filters it into Monster Energy drink, and I'm like, that's the coolest fucking thing ever, dude. Is Kojima constantly on opium? Like, how does he come up with these fucking weird ideas? But that's cool, dude. I want a fucking canteen that filters rain into Monster Energy drink. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and if you've ever left Monster Energy drink open for like 4 months, it has the texture of acid rain, so it will eat through your entire apartment floor. There'll be a hole there.
It probably ages you as fast as that time rain does in Death Stranding. Thanks for sponsoring this episode, Monster.
Aaron doesn't do well with open drinks, by the way. You can't leave an open drink around him, or you will drink it.
I will take a sip.
So Monster lasting 2 hours around him. A miracle.
How are you at parties? Like, because they always have the one beer can that people ash cigarettes into. You ever drank an ashy beer?
Yep. Not all.
I have to.
I think not that.
That's Devin's fault though.
Yeah.
That's Devin's fault. Asshole.
Fucking bitch.
I
That,
think
he opens the soda, drinks 2 drinks, ashes in it,
Yeah,
gets a new soda.
I've never understood that. How can you just take 2 sips of a drink and just fucking leave it there? I'm the kind of guy I'm gonna drink like the whole thing in not even 3 minutes, dude. I don't get it. Like this piece of shit, it's been gone like this whole time. I'm pretty sure it's gone, dude.
I'm pretty. Yeah, I drink. I'll always get like a pep. I'll be like, I'm thirsty. Grab a Pepsi from the fridge, drink like 3 drinks, and then that's it. And then I'll take another drink and it's flat, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get another, and I'll go and just open another Pepsi, and then they just collect on my chairs back there. Those are behind me. Those are my tables.
We'd have the perfect symbiotic relationship because I'd be like, hey man, how old is this? Oh, it's from like, oh dude, I'll finish it for you. Sweet.
You want to ask how old it was, Aaron? You'd be like, "Can I drink this?"
That'd be perfect, dude.
Drinking hot soda in the back of this car that was sitting there for like 3 days, you'd still drink it. Still good, just warm.
Dude, I remember as a kid, I just unlocked like a really young memory, but I had a stepdad, and he had a beer in a koozie, right? And it obscured the whole can except for the top, where I could see that it was a blue can. And so in my child brain, I was like, oh shit, we have Pepsi? And so I went to go drink, I drank some of that beer, and I was like, this is terrible. And then I heard from across the room, hey boy, put that down! And I was like, oh shit. And I turned around and he's like mad at me, and I'm like, I think your Pepsi's rotten. I thought it was rotten Pepsi.
And better than the alternative.
That's probably how they make Bud Light. They just let Pepsi ferment. Speaking of fermentation, Baden Kaitos? I'm not sure how you pronounce it. That was the next one. Baden Kaitos. Yeah. Yeah.
Was it like kimchi?
Close enough.
Yeah, dude. It's I guess that is fermented cabbage or whatever the fuck, but that game Baden Kaitos, Baden Kai, I don't know. It's awesome. It's just another turn-based RPG, but instead of like using commands or whatever the hell, you have and you have a card for like, this attack and then this attack, and then you chain them together into a combo, and it was neat because like you could just find cards out in the world, and like a lot of the healing cards were just foods but in card form, and you could you find a piece of cheese in the fucking world and be like, oh, better card it, and then
So this is just Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories?
Basically. Basically, minus the Disney. But
this the art of the case just makes me think of Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem. It's like the exact same colors. Like all of the colors on this box are the same colors.
dude, I bet. Let me find the case again. Oh yeah, I could see that. And it had really goofy characters too, because like I forget what the sailor dude's name was, but he fought with an oar, which was kind of stupid, and then he'd always be like, simmer down. When he'd be attacking, he'd be like, simmer down, youngin', and he'd be like beating a fucking dog to death, like, simmer down, and it was a great game.
Are we talking about Final Fantasy X?
No, this is Baden Kaito.
Waka, or whatever his name was?
Waka with the ball.
No,
Yeah.
Waka talk like this, brother. He be throwing the ball.
Yeah, he has the Jamaican accent.
Did you know that the dude that voices him voices Bender?
John Maggio.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, John Maggio.
Yep, that's cool. I never knew that until.
Voice Waka?
Yeah, that's Bender, dude.
I want a Smash Brothers clone just of all the things that DiMaggio's played, just like with all of the characters fighting each other.
It would be too big of a game. Too big of a game. Nobody can handle it.
Holy.
Did you guys play? Like I remember in like Soul Calibur 3 or maybe it was 4, everyone had joke weapons, and I think somebody had an oar as a weapon. Like everyone would have like
That was 2, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Was it 2?
Yeah,
I'm getting
Nightmare had the oar. Somebody had a pan. I forget who it was. And then I know what you're talking about. Holy shit! Oh my god, he played numerous characters in Johnny Bravo. Oh my god, he was in fucking Static Shock. Yeah, we need to do a Smash Bros of that guy, dude. In Cat Scratch. Fuck that stupid show.
Who did he play in Johnny Bravo?
It just says various characters. He probably played everybody, dude. He was Schnitzel and Chowder. Oh my god, that's my main.
Yeah.
That's my fucking main right there, dude.
Rada, 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 rada.
That he just throws shit.
Rada, rada. I love Chowder. That was a great show.
Dude, did you see that the episode of Scooby-Doo where Johnny Bravo was in it?
They did that?
Yeah, they did it. They did this. The only thing I remember from it is you know how Velma loses her glasses, and she's like, "My glasses, I can't see without my glasses," right? So
I remember it now.
Velma and Johnny Bravo run into each other, and they both lose their glasses, and she's like, "Can't be seen without my glasses," and then Johnny Bravo's like, "My glasses, I can't be seen without my glasses." It's so fucking funny. It's stuck with me.
Yeah, Bravo Doobie Doo is the episode. It's actually of Johnny Bravo.
Speaking of doobies.
Yeah, Doobie.
There we go. Speaking of doobies, what's your next one, Nave?
Let's see. This game do be great. I have so many games on this list. Let's go with. Well, since we're talking about turn-based RPGs, let's go with Lost Odyssey. I want Lost Odyssey remastered.
Yeah, dude.
And I would like this game remastered in the same way that Tales of Vesperia was remastered. Tales of Vesperia was a Tales game that was exclusive to the Xbox 360, and Lost Odyssey is also exclusive to the 360. It is backwards compatible and available digitally now. I don't know what kind of sorcery they did to get the multi-disc thing working, but that thing is available digitally for people who want to experience it right now. But I would love to get Lost Odyssey on the PlayStation platform, where PlayStation has such a huge fan base for Japanese role-playing games, and Lost Odyssey is one of my favorites. And it's a shame that a lot of people don't even know it exists on the other consoles, or getting it on the Switch even. Like the story of Kai Margamar and the story of the Immortals is so touching and heartbreaking. This has definitely hit me in the exact right moment of being an angsty teen, like sad and angry at the world, and just being able to experience things through this story. And I remember after like a few months, they released this thing called 1,000 Years of Dreams, where it was just a bunch of written stories. And I remember reading the first one where Kaim meets a little girl, a terminally ill little girl that's at this inn, and this girl being a kind of like a sunny day on his like doom and gloom life as a mercenary, a sword for hire. He goes and he stops at this inn regularly and tells her all of these stories about the outside world because she can't leave the inn. And I remember just crying from a story. I was like, I can't believe I'm crying from something I read. You know what I mean? I was so unlearned back then. So good.
I definitely get that. Fuck, that's a funny story too. Jared bought me my first copy of that game forever ago. Remember that, Jared?
Yeah, wasn't that on the Orleans house?
I think so. Yeah.
Before then? I think it was that house.
Yeah, it was the Orleans house. Yeah, and that one was really fucking good. 'Cause I remember, I forget how fucking far I got in that, but I remember when you finally find Kaim's wife, and he he recovers some memories, and I forget exactly what happened. I remember that being pretty fucking sick. Because his wife is immortal too, isn't she? Or he didn't know she was immortal or something. I forget.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's like just that's the whole story of everything. Because you make like assumptions about a lot of things, but then like the way things turn out aren't always the way that you would intuitively imagine them. And so it's such a touching story. So I recommend everybody, especially if you have an Xbox One or a Series X, you got to go and you got to get Lost Odyssey. I think that game in particular is like $20 or $30 because they had to put in the fucking work to fucking get that shit working. Yeah, man. I love that game so much, and just being able to see other people experience it, that's what I want to do. I want to live vicariously through them.
Glad they at least made it backwards compatible on Xbox One, though. It seems like the Series X and Series X are becoming a lot more popular than the Xbox One was.
Yeah, so thank goodness.
Hopefully more people are gonna experience that guy. But speaking of butts, Jared.
Speaking of butts, what does that got to do with me?
What's your next one? What's your next one? You butt?
Oh, I know, but what's butts got to do with me, dick?
I don't know. Dick butt.
That's rude. So my next one is another PlayStation RPG, JRPG. Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, I'm sure that's one that a lot of people are waiting for.
Nothing came of it. Then that's the big problem. It ended the story, and that's the end of it. One game, fantastic story, but it just kind of ends kind of goofy. But nothing's been done for like 20 some odd years since it was released. I know I've spent many, many hours. I remember one time, the first person that I played it with that introduced me was Dave. You probably remember Dave.
Yep.
We were struggling to get the second disc to work, and we tried all the old goofy shit that you could try. Putting toothpaste on the disc, putting
That's what I was
peanut
gonna say.
butter on the disc, all that stuff. And after like 4 months of trying to get it to work, we finally got it to work. But that's just a game that it was interesting combat style, interesting story, interesting mechanics, massive game. It was just a weird fever dream of a story. Best way to put it.
It really was.
This was a game that I mistook. This is another one of those situations where I thought this was another thing. But whenever Panzer Dragoon got released for modern hardware, I thought that was that game. I thought this was that game. And it was only like maybe a year ago that I learned that Legends of Dragoon was a turn-based RPG, because that's what I thought Panzer Dragoon was. And then I played that game, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is not anything like I thought it was going to be.
Oh, dude, you're kind of on the right. This isn't one on my list, but there is a Panzer Dragoon Saga is a turn-based game in that series, and that's one that's been stuck on the fucking Saturn for so many years, and it's like one of the most expensive games ever now, because they released that motherfucker like at the end of the Saturn's lifespan. So yeah, it goes for like $2,000 for a complete ass copy. It's crazy. That one also deserves a remaster. Legend of Dragoon though that's one I'd like to see remastered as well too, because I don't think anything else really has combat quite like that. Or like the Dragoon system is really fucking cool too. How you cast magic and shit.
Yeah. And the fact that you can transform, you have certain ways, you have to do certain things. And the fact that there's just so much in that game. It's crazy. Because I know I probably spent 200-300 hours on one save file alone, and I still didn't get everything done on that game.
Speaking of speaking of fucking stupid transitions, I guess.
Yes.
Here's another GBA one. Wario Land 4. God damn it. We haven't seen anything from the Wario series in decades. I think the last one was Wario World. Not counting WarioWare. Not counting WarioWare, but Wario World, I think. Yeah, that was on the GameCube. But god damn it. Give us remaster Wario Land 4, or like they brought them to the they had 1 through 3 on the 3DS Virtual Console because they were on the Game Boy Color and shit like that. But Wario Land 4, I think they only did on the Wii U Virtual Console, and fucking nobody owns a 3U or a Wii U, not 3U, sorry. And so yeah, it's just kind of stuck either there on the GBA, and that's an awesome game. It's just Wario, and you're going through different levels, grabbing treasure. You grab a key, and then you find as soon as you find a key, what is it? So you go into a level through a portal, and then basically your whole point of the level is to go find like a key. Along the way, you grab treasure and shit, and then once you grab that key, basically this countdown starts. You have to exit the level before the countdown ends, otherwise it'll implode with you inside of it and you'll get a game over. But yeah, you have to find your way back out of the level, and then of course shit's chasing you as you're trying to get out, so it's even harder to get out of there. And there's all sorts of cool levels, like there's just like a jungle, there's like a pyramid, there's this like haunted mansion level. It's an awesome game. Fucking remaster it, please, I beg you.
I didn't even know these existed.
Nobody does, but they're great. I love Wario Land, dude. And Wario World too. It's also great.
I don't remember what one it was, but I remember playing one of those. It was either on the GameCube or the DS. I don't remember what one it was, but I remember I had a lot of fun with that Wario game.
You remember what you did in it?
No, it's been so long. It was like when I was 15.
I just know the WarioWare games.
Yeah, there are a lot of WarioWares. Those are great, god damn it, but I want a Wario platformer. Motherfucker.
Just make a mod of a Mario game and just make him Wario. There you go.
It's not
That's what this looks like.
Close enough.
God
Get
damn it.
somebody to voice act for him too. Make him. Wah!
Alright, Nate, what you got?
Let's go with Psychonauts.
Ooh.
Psychonauts is one of the best platformers that were released on the original Xbox. Not that that's like a huge fucking catalog of games, but Psychonauts 2 is so charming and so funny, and Tim Schafer's mind is one that I would love to pick on LSD, just try and figure out what's going on in there. I love the original Psychonauts, and the second game that came out was critically acclaimed, and for a good reason, because that game took everything from the first one and just kind of amplified it. Like gave you more of that, which is amazing for a sequel that is so far removed from the original. I mean, that thing is separated by like what is it, 2-3 generations? So
Yeah.
it's a really charming game. Another game that is backwards compatible on the Xbox, and I'm pretty sure you can play this on Steam as well. This game would be a great contender for a facelift, and I don't think it would be too difficult with how many studios that Microsoft has under their umbrella right now. Especially after the Activision thing. If that thing goes through and they get Toys for Bob, this would be a pretty good game to look to, and especially with after all of the hype of the second game.
Doesn't Microsoft also own Double Fine now? Double Fine Studios?
Yeah, they own Double Fine now. But the only thing that really contributed from the acquisition to Psychonauts 2 was it gave them the safety net to be able to take extra time and make boss battles in the game, which weren't going to be in the game originally. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see what Double Fine does, because they always come out with these quirky games, and a lot of them are kind of missed for me. Like stacking, I never really could get into, or Grim Fandango's kind of irritating me because I have to look everything up because it's a fucking point-and-click adventure game. But a lot of these games, I'm glad. Like Day of the Tentacle, I think got re-released, and I'm loving that these games are getting a bunch of extra love, and Psychonauts is overdue for some love because it's my favorite thing that Double Fine has made.
Oh, and they also made Costume Quest. I forgot about that shit. Those were good.
Yeah, I think those are backwards compatible.
Jared, go.
I'm gonna play Skyrim remake. I think we need another one of those. We got new consoles and whatnot.
Please, we need it.
I think they already
Actually,
did a Sky. I think there was one last year. I think they actually did re-release it.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. I don't know. Figured I'd throw a little joke one in there because everybody needs another Skyrim just like they need a more Last of Us.
Yeah, it's the anniversary edition. It has a bunch of mods in it. Like it has mod stuff.
Proactively re-release The Last of Us for the PS6. The people are begging for it.
Need it. But no, the Fable series would be one that I'd really enjoy a remake for. I know you can play them on like the backwards compatibility and whatnot, but I would really enjoy like an actual like remake or remaster of the second and the third one. Because I love the first one. The second one was a good story. The third one was a goofy story with goofy mechanics and a goofy world. So it kind of fell off there, but definitely would really enjoy if they remade all three of those or remastered all three of them.
Yeah, we did Fable 3 for the show. I'm pretty sure it was 3. That's the one where you go to the tower and everything, right? You're like I
think that's the second one.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
the second one and the third one are like the same game in my head.
Yeah, the third one you have to get a crap ton of money to defend against the darkness.
Mm.
And the second one you have to go after this one guy who killed your parents or something like that.
Yeah, because you start off as a kid, he kills your parents or whatever, and then he sends you to this tower to be a slave or something.
Something like that. I can't remember the whole time. No, that's the second one.
Okay, we played the second one then, because I remember I grinded out the jobs and then I bought a bunch of real estate, and that was like the part of the game that I was doing. And Philip would join my game because every hour that passed in the game, you got money, or is it an hour? I don't know. It's a certain time period. And you would get money for all of your real estate and everything. And It was whenever you have a player two play co-op with you, you get to split the experience and money, and you get to choose the split, which is something that I really really loved. Like you can be like, I'll take 30% of the experience, but I want 70% of the gold, and like that, and you played like that. So I would play. We would just do 50-50. It didn't matter, but Philip would join, and he'd be in there for like a couple minutes, and he would get my paycheck and it would be more than he's made in the entire game, like that one paycheck. And he's just like, "What in the fuck is going on in your game, dude?" And I'm just like, "I own all of Bowerstone." or something.
I love that. Like that was kind of a neat feature that they added to a game like that I haven't really seen in anything else. Is being an actual like property owner and actually choosing how much you want to charge for rent and whatnot.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were regions, but still.
And it changes your alignment too. It makes you more good or more evil if you charge people too much money and stuff like that.
No.
Couldn't you also pick which house you wanted to live in to like have as your marital home? Like pick another home,
Yeah.
have a different wife or something?
Yep, and you can be an asshole and kick somebody out too. Get out! I want this one.
What's really cool is like before you buy the property, you can become friends with the person who owns the property, and they'll charge you less money. Or if you like make them mad, they'll charge you more money. Or like if you are like an evil person and the town hates you, like your relationship with the town is bad, everything costs more there. It's like it's very simple, but it's so satisfying to see like like mechanics like that play themselves out in front of you.
And especially in like a game from that time period too. It was pretty advanced for back then.
I think Fable 1 was remastered too. I think it was remastered from the Xbox to the 360, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They did the anniversary edition, yeah, and it was basically like the original version plus like there's like an expansion that was on the PC only. So then that became available on Xbox 360.
Expansion was poopy, but
I liked it, but
I remember when that game came out, everyone was upset because I think the art style changed a lot. Like they modernized it. It's very similar to what happened with the Halo anniversary thing, which funny enough, the Elder Trolls are streaming right now. So that's weird that just randomly came up too. But they're playing Halo Combat Evolved and they're playing the anniversary with the new graphics. And I watched for like 5 seconds. I was like, ugh, but disgusting, and I left. I hate the new graphics so much in the Halo 1. They fucking nailed it with Halo 2, but Halo 1 they just overcomplicated everything and it made everything hard to see. Whereas Halo 1 the original graphics, everything popped out, you know, like all of the Covenant are such different colors to the environment.
They do that a lot with a lot of remasters, like the Silent Hill HD remasters. They tried to make those easier to see, but then they kind of defeated the although they really fucked up like the fog and like how you could see through the fog more easily, which kind of defeated the purpose of the fucking shit because it, like enemies are supposed to sneak up on you. I don't know.
Those are interesting stories too. Like there's a lot of cool YouTube videos if you want to hear about the Silent Hill 2 and 3 remasters because those games were lost. So especially Silent Hill 3, that game is like a beta version of Silent Hill 3, and they had the people who remastered it had to basically remake the game at the end. It's really fucking cool, but also sad because it's not faithful to the original at all. But how could it have been?
Sucks. Speaking of not being faithful, what's next for you, Jared? No, you said Fable, right? Yeah. Here's this Fable.
Yep, Fable. Fable.
My last one is Custom Robo, and fucking nobody's ever heard of this one, but
I've never heard of it.
I want a fucking remaster or anything. A new game in the series would be awesome too because it'd be perfect for online games. Because god damn it, it's for those that don't know. Basically, so when you go to fight somebody, you'll go into this like holographic Coliseum, which is just called a fucking Coliseum, and you're and you can customize your robot guy beforehand, hence being called Custom Robo. And you can pick there's different body types you can use. So like there's like the Ray. Or there's like, I think there's like a heavier, more durable one called like the Gorilla. And there's all sorts of different body types you can use that determine your stats and like special abilities and shit. And then you can pick different legs to do certain things, or like different guns also have different like shooting patterns and shit like that. Because like there's a gun that'll shoot like in a split like 3-way pattern. There's like a dragon gun that just kind of shoots homing flames, or like there's a gun that shoots a sword into the air, and then after like a second or so,
Titanfall.
no, it's custom robo, Jared.
It sounds like Titanfall.
Game
But yeah,
looks like a Gundam.
it's fucking awesome, dude. And the the first 2 games in the series came out for the N64, and we never got those. It'd be cool if we finally got those translated in English. The third game came out for the GameCube forever ago, and then they had one on the DS, and that's it. I would just like a new custom Robo game, or bring them all to Switch, something, because it's awesome, especially if they want more people to subscribe to the online service, like get custom Robo, 'cause I'm sure more people would play that online, god damn it. Customize a robot and beat some ass, like that'd be great.
Actually, sounds pretty fun.
It's cool because like the story mode is basically like a little Saturday morning cartoon kind of thing, because there's like, it's almost like a villain of the week kind of thing. It starts off like you're starting your new job, and then you have to go beat a bad guy, and then you'll just do that for a while, like find a new bad guy to beat, and then find a new bad guy, and then there's this like ultimate evil bad guy that's gonna end the world, and then you beat him. And the music is also really good. It's just a really, again, it's another game that got really poopy reviews when it was released, but I like it. And if you don't like it, you can just eat my butt.
It kind of reminds me of it just makes me want to play Mega Man Battle Network. The way this game looks.
Dude, I can't wait for that fucking collection. That's gonna be so fun.
I can wait because I'm gonna have to wait. Like until it fucking shows up, or I get a Switch or something.
I remember they had a cartoon that was kind of based on the Battle Network series, and they had like the goofiest little sayings for it. Whenever they used like in Battle Network, to use an attack, you have to use a little battle chip or whatever. And in the show,
Yeah.
they'd be like, battle chip in and download, and they'd do their little anime like flashy pose and like pop it into their phone or some shit.
I love that. Like
Great.
in that game, you can like jack into things, and
Yeah.
you can like jack into the toaster, and like that's how you like did maintenance on it. So, and you send your little Mega Man dude in there, and I'm like, God, that seems like that's the fucking timeline I want to be living in right now. Where I can jack into my headphones and fucking figure out why they're not working.
Holy shit. That's it. That's all the games we got remastered. That's all of them. No other games are ever going to get remastered except for
No
those
other
ever.
games should
But-
get remastered until these do.
That's right.
Except for The Last of Us.
That and Skyrim.
I'm surprised they haven't beaten the dead horse with like the Fallout series on that.
There was a lot of speculation last year
True.
that maybe for the 35th anniversary they'd re-release the old ones on the Xbox, but that never came about. That's kind of sad because we're not going to see Fallout again until like 2038, because that's
Yep.
after Elder Scrolls, and we're not going to see Elder Scrolls until 2029 or something. Like it's like
I think it was 26 was like first like tentative release time. It was like 26 or some shit like
Jesus,
that.
We're getting into fucking 80s sci-fi movie territory with the 2038 and 2029, dude. We're gonna have like holographic food and
Fuck
shit
yeah.
by the
Why
time that
not
game
again?
comes out.
dude, what year was the Jetsons supposed to take place?
This year, actually, I think it was 2022.
You're fucking lying,
I'm
Jared.
almost positive. It's
It's
Really?
also
close.
it's 2023.
Oh, did you just look it up? Ooh, no, it's set in 2062.
Oh my god. Well, that's forever fucking now. So George Jetson's been born, right? He's alive currently. He's a baby.
Maybe, yeah. Let's find him and kick his ass, dude.
Yeah, let's put a stop to that fucking shit.
In 2002, whatever. I guess he's 12 now, or 13, 11. I don't know.
Perfect bullying age.
We could totally kick
Yeah.
his ass. Exactly. All right, folks. Well, yeah. If there's any other games you want remastered, or any other people you want us to go back in time and kick their ass, just let us know. You can follow us on Twitter and tell us whose ass you want us to kick or remaster there. Also, make sure to check out our Patreon. $2, $4, or $6. It's not a lot of money we're asking for. Nave, again, where can good people find you?
We run Gaming Together, a cooperative podcast. Me and Philip, we can be found on Facebook, Twitter at Game Together Pod, found on Instagram at whatever you use to find people on Instagram. Pretty cool. A lot of memes, a lot of funny videos.
Jared, where can the people not find you?
Everywhere.
Perfect.
Send all of the complaints to Aaron's inbox.
That's true. If you have any complaints, any people you want us to bully or remaster, send it to superpodsaga@gmail.com.
And then I'll go get him.
We'll send Jared back in time, Terminator 2 style.
Can't track me. I'm on social medias.
We'll file up his fingernails and burn his social security card, and hell yeah, we'll end the Jetsons once and for fucking all.
Screw the Jetsons.
All right, everybody. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Goodbye.